The design brief for this car was very simple. Take the FT1 concept car and turn it into the most super race car you could imagine.
When we started the project, some of the key words that came to mind were sexy, authentic, outrageous, track built. The design process on the Toyota FT1 Vision started with sketching. From sketching, we moved to a scale clay model to prove it out in physical form. From there, we digitally scanned it and then put it into the CAD and did all the final refinements in CAD.
Well, the original FT1 was more of a sculptural concept car. That was a serious sports car, but this one is more an extreme race car where it had to look functional, it had to look extremely serious and aggressive, and this had more, and it still had to be believable.
Yeah, working on this car, we really got to take that form and pull it and stretch it in different directions to try to emphasize these large fenders, and this car is really low down, really high grip, really high downforce.
Usually after CAD process, they still develop design clay model, sometimes hard model, but especially this project, CAD data was the final. So we have to make sure the CAD data looks beautiful and perfect, and we did it.
The biggest challenge in designing the Vision GT car was keeping the spirit of FT1 intact. We changed a lot, and I think all the enthusiasts out there and the people that loved FT1 and now they see the Vision GT car, they'll recognize all the areas we changed, and it's a lot. So we had to keep the identity of FT1 while doing that. And we put a lot of effort, a lot of energy into really making something authentic that when all the race fans out there and all the Toyota driving fans out there experience this car in GT6, they're going to be wowed.
First time I heard about the idea for us to design a car for GT6, I actually didn't quite believe it at the same time. I thought it was pretty amazing opportunity for us.
BMW stands for sheer driving pleasure, and this fits very much to our cooperation.
グランツーリスモがすごいわけじゃないんですよ。グランツーリスモに収録されている車を作っている人たちがすごいんですね。そのエネルギーがグランツーリスモを通じてプレイヤーに伝わっている、そういうことだと思いますね。
As you know, we do concept cars, but we rarely do concept cars that can drive, full on like they do in the virtual world of GT6. That's pretty much a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Our engineers on the one side and on the other side, our designers worked very hard through several months.
The design process behind this car is similar to what we usually do, but maybe in a much more compact version, if you will. Everything we did, aerodynamic functions as well as all the other technical functions, are not just a design issue. It has to work really well. I mean, it's designed and conceived, engineered actually to race. Engineered in the virtual world, but engineered to race and win.
このねビジョン GT カー、どこが BMW らしいかというと、まずコンパクトなサイズ、それと前後の張り出した、オーバーフェンダー、ボクシーなところはボクシーで残していて、でもきちんとモダンでエレガントなラインも入っていて。
I think when you look at the car, you'll see typical BMW proportions with the short front overhang, the long hood, the rearward cabin, but all of that in an extreme package, basically super low, super wide. So the first impact from this car is going to be just like pure BMW racing feeling. You will see as well some typical BMW icons, the kidneys, the double around headlamps, the L-shaped tail lamps, the Hofmeister kink. All of that are things that you find on our production cars, and you will find on that car as well. It's this red thread that goes through every BMW that is essential to what we do. This car is pure BMW sportiness, pure BMW dynamics. It's a precise driving machine that just looks the part and actually drives exactly the way you expect the BMW to drive.
The design brief was more or less try to design a car that looks fast, that looks super interesting, that just make people go, wow.
Vision GT is a very exciting global project, and it's fabulous for us to get the chance to express our design for a future concept in the gaming.
The Concept 2020 is basically what every designer always dreams about. It was super exciting to work on a project with no boundaries at all.
Designer had a kind of initial line drawings, and we actually skipped all the clay model stages and interpreted directly to digital.
We could really understand the form using our Powerwall screens, using technology to bring this future concept into reality. We can use pure aerodynamic performance for the first time, and that is going to add a huge advantage in the game itself.
タイヤとキャビンの間に風を通すようにして、必要最低限の空気の切り裂き量にして空気抵抗低減を図っています。
You have this strong front fender connected to it, very round, very sculptural. And then in contrast, the rear fender, which is more constructed and more wing-light, very lightweight.
When you need to have a high downforce, the actual rear wing is adjustable. So it's automatically elevate the height of the wing.
When you're driving this car, you're really going to feel fantastic acceleration. You get this feeling of energy that just surrounds you.
It's super extreme, super low, super wide, but also very aerodynamically refined.
It's like a jet fighter grounded on the road.
With all this energy and excitement, this innovation, this is still very obviously a Nissan.
thinking about this Gran Turismo, we thought, how can we leverage this learning that we had from F1 and bring it into a GT car? How do we make a GT car that is born from the track but also lives with the romance of racing? And so it was a great collaboration with all the studios, but the final design was selected from our Beijing studio. Can you bring it up on the monitor?
Sure.
This is an incredible, exciting project. All designers want to create a car without limitation, can spread out their imagination and bring it to reality as well. We want to create a car that looks sensual, attractive, futuristic, and also looks very wild, powerful. They can impress you with just a glance.
无论是车头犀利的眼神、外扩的格栅造型，还是锐利利索的细节，包围感极强的 Fender， 都是为了要让车身看上去所有的力量都在互相牵制的同时又相互融合，从而带给人们一种野兽般的视觉冲击。
インフィニティコンセプトビジョングランツーリスモは最初のキースケッチからファイナルモデルの制作まで全てがこの北京にオープンしたばかりのインフィニティデザインベイジンで行われました。生まれたばかりのこのデザインスタジオで中国の若いデザイナーたちはインフィニティのヘリテージを学び、インフィニティのフォームランゲージを理解し、その上で彼らが渇望する思いをビーストとしてこの車に封じ込めました。センシュアリティ&ビースト、それがインフィニティコンセプトビジョングランツーリスモのコンセプトです。
V8 自然吸気をフロントに搭載し、リアにトランスアクセルを搭載する FR レイアウトをベースに気持ちよく楽しめる走り、リプレイを見たくなるような走りを狙いとしたパッケージングを行いました。
ビジョングランツーリスモへの参加が決まった。カーデザイナーを目指した学生時代、徹夜で走り込んだグランツーリスモ。そんな慣れ親しんだゲームの企画にスバルが参加表明した時は驚いたが、その担当にという打診にはもっと驚き、二つ返事で飛びついた。ダイナミック&ソリッド、スバルのデザインフィロソフィーを踏まえイメージを膨らませる。塊感、硬質な素材から削り出されるフォルム。でもそれだけではダメだ。力強さ、ダイナミズムを表現するには核となる中身が欠かせない。モータースポーツを通して培われた技術、精神、それをいかに凝縮して表現するか。世界中の車メーカーが参加するビジョングランツーリスモ。スバルらしさ、日本の車メーカーらしさもアピールしたい。こうした要素を内包し、強烈にアピールできるモチーフとは何か。やっとその鍵を見つけた。超合金鰹節、
ラリー、ニュルブルクリンク24時間レースで培ってきた技術、そしてデザインフィロソフィー、ダイナミックソリッド、これを融合させてグランツーリスモのために我々新しいレースカーを作りました。ぜひご堪能ください。
レース車両はスバルビジブ2コンセプト、機動性を重視したワゴンフォルムとしながらもレースに必要な空力性能、そしてスバルの特徴であるシンメトリカル AWD をいかに表現するか、そこをデザインのキーポイントにしました。
硬質なボリュームを削り落とした面がフロントからリアに向けて一発でズバッと通してある点、空力を考慮した伸びやかなルーフライン、さらにそこからつながるルーフスポイラーを一体化することで特徴を出しています。またこの車ではビジブ2コンセプトで採用しましたトルクベクタリングシステム、それをフェンダーに配置したランプを光らせることで可視化する、そういったことによってスバルの目指す操る楽しみというのをゲーム内で表現しています。
挑戦って我々マツダがずっと大事にしてきたもので、いわば伝統のようなものです。過去13回の挑戦を得て1991年に日本メイクとして初めて、しかもマツダしか持たないパワートレインロータリーエンジンでルマンで総合優勝しました。その時の感動は本当に今でも忘れられません。これが挑戦だと思いました。
Design from a heritage standpoint, obviously we looked at cars like the 787. That car has this amazing long front overhang, really short, low rear end, and it creates this very unique balance that's just not commonplace in contemporary sports cars. So we wanted to take that influence and bring it into this new concept and create this dramatic proportion where you had really low front end, very dynamic, sculpted fender treatments, and then really low rear end.
This Gran Turismo project, all the designers got involved in it. It was a global competition, and we all pitched our ideas. But ever since the beginning, I wanted to pitch this Le Mans race car Because Mazda has such a strong Le Mans history. My project was to recreate that Le Mans car for the future 2020.
我々デザインもずっとチャレンジし続けています。今我々が取り組んでいるのは鼓動というデザインテーマ。それは生命感あふれる美しいフォルムを作ること、車に命を吹き込む、これが我々デザインの挑戦です。
私たち三菱自動車は50年にわたりモータースポーツに参加してきました。今回 XR というコンセプトカーをベースにレーシングカーを作りました。皆様もぜひお楽しみください。
4輪それぞれの駆動力を最大限に引き出せる PHEV システム、それに加えましてアクティブ用コントロールシステムは電動式で左右輪のトルクをに分ける、ドライバーの意のままにコントロールできるシステムになっております。
三菱自動車の車開発では空力は常に重要な役割を果たしてきました。いかにダウンフォースを、空気抵抗を増やさずに獲得するかというところをこの車の開発ではより注意して行いました。
この車コンセプト XRPHEV エボリューションのデザインコンセプトはアスリートフォルムです。アスリートがまさにクラウチングスタートを切る瞬間の緊張感であったり瞬発力を表現しています。全てその速く走るため、その目的のために角度や細かい高さの調整など設計者とともにデータを見ながら決めていきました。
Testing one of the most exciting cars in the world demands everything from you. Challenging man and machine. Nothing is left to chance. Pushing yourself to the limits. Sometimes crossing them. All for this one great moment.